Welcome to Powercoat Music. In this video, we're going to talk about the Marshall DSL20CR amplifier and why I use it. Now, if you love Marshall amps and you're interested and want to know more about the DSL series next generation model of amplifiers from Marshall, then you've landed in the right place. Stick with me, we have a lot to talk about. I use this amplifier because the DSL provides the legendary Marshall tone, allowing me to express my playing style with attitude without the need for effects pedals. Now, I've never been a pedal person, and I try to get and dial in my tone from the guitar and amp only, and I don't like to use anything else unless I have to. So this amp for me is killer. Love it for that. From clean to distorted overdrives, the DSL20 is versatile. It's a versatile all-valve amp that allows me to easily dial in the sound that I need. Now, the DSL amp not only delivers the sound that I expect from a super lead amplifier, it's also packed with features such as an effects loop, power reduction, and a studio quality reverb. Right out of the box, the DSL provides me with the functionality that I need. It's key. In this video, we are going to go through an overview of the amplifier. We're going to view the technical specifications. We're also going to look at the controls on the front of the amp to see how they function. We are going to look at the back of the amplifier to see the outputs, and we're going to describe what they do. And then lastly, we're going to hear what the amp sounds like, clean, no effects pedals on both channels. First off, let's take a look at the overview of the DSL20 amplifier. First of all, it's important to note that the DSL20 head and the DSL20 combo, they both feature the same functions. The combo, which is of course what I have, this is equipped with a 12-inch Celestion 7080 speaker. The DSL features a 2-foot switchable channels, which are the classic gain and the ultra gain. The classic gain channel can deliver clean sounds through to a more aggressive breakup, much like a Marshall JCM 800 amp. And if you have one, you know what I'm talking about. The ultra gain channel provides a even more distorted end breakup when I need a high gain tone from the amp. Now, both channels share a passive 3-band EQ for bass, mid, and treble controls. The EQ section also features a tone shift, which when activated, this reconfigures the preamp mid frequencies. Now, this makes the DSL ideal for contemporary metal tones. So if you're a metalhead, you are going to love this feature, especially when combined with the higher gain settings. You're going to get that metal output, that killer legendary Marshall sound that you crave. The DSL20 features a digital reverb and a series effects loop. Now, the low power function also adds a further dimension to the DSL sound, giving you a, or should I say me when I need it, a more full valve tone even at lower volumes. That's critical for when you're practicing and you're just don't want to drive people insane, as you know that Marshall high output can easily do. Let's move on now to the technical specifications. Of course, this is a tube amp. It's a 2-channel tube amp. It's a 20 watt. It also has a 10 watt power setting. The speaker size is a 1x2-inch Celestion 7080 speaker, which we talked about. The preamp tubes, we have 3 ECC 83s, and when it comes to the power tubes, there are 2 EL34s. Yes, it does have a reverb, and again, with EQ, there's a 3-band. There's EQ, also has tone shift functionality and resonance functionality. As far as inputs, you have 1 1/4-inch instrument input and 1 8-inch auxiliary input. When it comes to outputs, there's 2 1/4-inch 8-ohm outputs. There's 1 1/4-inch internal 16-ohm speaker and one 8-inch soft tube emulated output. It does have an effects loop, of course, takes pedals well. It has a foot switch I/O, a 1/4 inch channel effects and effects loop input for your foot switch. It does come with an included foot switch. It's a 2-button foot switch to switch between channel and effects loops, which we just talked about. The construction materials is a black Tolex, and the power source is a standard IEC AC cable. The amp is 16.5 inches high. It is through width 19.6 inches. The depth is 9.8 inches, and the weight is 35.9 pounds. Let's move on to the front panel control functionality. We first start off, there's an input jack, of course, for your guitar cable. Moving on to the classic gain channel controls. The gain controls the gain level for the classic gain channel in this area. As the amount of gain increases, so will the distortion level in your sound. The volume here controls the volume for the classic gain channel. The channel select, you press this switch between classic gain and ultra gain channels. This is the switch that takes you back and forth between the two. The classic gain channel status light will light green to indicate that the classic gain channel is selected. The ultra gain channel status LED will light red, ultra red, remember that, to indicate that the ultra gain channel is selected. Now here's a point of note. Channels can also be selected using the supplied 2-way foot switch. Let's move on to the ultra gain channel. The gain controls in this area, they control the gain level for the ultra gain channel. Now, as the amount of gain increases, so will the distortion level in your sound. The volume in this area controls the volume level of the ultra gain channel. Moving on to the equalization section. Tone shift. This reconfigures the preamp EQ's network mid frequencies, adding a new dimension to tonal shaping. The treble controls higher frequencies of your sound. Turning clockwise will increase the highs, making your sound brighter and crisper. The middle controls the middle register of your sound. Turning this clockwise adds girth. Like gets that fat in there. If you like a little bit of fat in your sound, this is where you're going to get that fat. Turning anti-clockwise reduces the middle frequencies, scooping the sound. This is accentuated when using, or should I say when used in conjunction with tone shift. You can play with that. That's going to be pretty neat, pretty cool. The bass, of course, controls the amount of lower frequency or bottom end in your sound. Turning clockwise will increase the bottom end, making the sound fuller. Let's take a look at a tonal note real quick here. The preamp EQ is, or should I say the preamp EQ network is dynamic and highly interactive. Now, because of this, altering the setting of one control can change the way that the other controls behave. So you must experiment to find your sound. Play with it. Let's move on to the presence controls. Now, this affects the amount of higher frequency content in your sound. So you turn clockwise to add bite for a more cutting tone. The presence is a, should I say, power stage function and acts independently of the preamp EQ network. Resonance. This controls the amount of lower frequency content in your sound. Okay, turning this control clockwise adds a resonant bass boost, increasing the bottom end. You like a lot of bottom end? This is where you mess with it or play with it to get what you want. Resonance is a power stage function that acts independently of the preamp EQ network. Reverb. This controls the overall reverb level. Let's move on to the output. Now, this is a 3-position rocker switch. I love this, which combines the standby and high-low power functions. The output stage and power control for this amplifier has been designed to deliver optimum tonal performance at all levels. The high and low output functions allow the user to choose between 2 configurations of the internal power supply. Again, I love this. These 2 configurations give the choice between 2 output power levels, but they ensure that the output valves the tubes behave the same way for both. This means that the amplifier can now be put into low power mode without compromising the tone. Perfect for practice. Now, let's look at the settings here. High. This is the 20-watt high power setting. Standby. This is used in conjunction with the mains power switch. When powering up, always switch the mains power on first, leaving the output switch in the standby position. Okay, very important. Standby mode should only be used to mute the amp during breaks in performances to avoid stress to the valves or tubes of the amplifier. The low setting, this is the 10-watt low power setting. So if you're practicing at home and need still want to get that great Marshall sound at lower power setting, set it to low. And of course, lastly, we have the power, which is the mains power switch. Let's move on to the rear panel. The mains output. Now, this connects the amplifier to the mains power supply. This is basically your power supply hookup. Let's move on to the effects loop return. Now, you connect the output of an external effects pedal or processor. The effects loop send. You connect the input of an external effects pedal or processor. Foot switch. Connect the supplied 2-way channel and FX loop foot switch here. Audio in. Here's where you can connect an external device for practice, or you can, play along with other music, do some improvisation. Emulated out. This is a frequency compensated line level output for headphones or for connection to a mixer. Okay, you can go directly out to a mixer here. The DSL is equipped with a high quality emulated output using soft tube design studio cabinet emulation. So this ensures that your headphones and output signals from this socket provides the best possible tone for practice or recording. Now note, for silent recording via emulated out, set the output to, the output switch to standby. And one other very important thing to keep in mind. When using emulated out, this does not omit the need for a speaker load to be connected. So you can keep that in mind. Now, the loudspeaker area, there are three speaker cabinet output jack sockets available. Now, they're labeled according to the intended impedances. A 1 by 16 ohm. Okay, you connect a 16 ohm speaker cabinet to this jack, a 1 by 8 ohm or a 2 by 16 ohm area here. For this connection, you connect in a single 8 ohm speaker cabinet or two 16 ohm speaker cabinets. Now, let's hear what the amp sounds like clean, no effects pedals, on both channels using my Gibson Les Paul 50s Tribute T. Okay. All front panel controls on the DSL will be in the 12 o'clock position. Well, that's a wrap. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. Click the subscribe button on your screen now and join our group. We have new videos coming out every 7 to 10 days, and we would love to have you be a part of our team. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below and let us know what you think about this video. While you're here at the channel, take a look at some of the other videos, listen to the music, and let us know what you think about that too. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.